Welcome to Health Hacks and Wine Racks podcast, where we have real conversations about the real life habits helping us and our clients ditch sugar, reduce bloat, and finally feel freaking amazing in our bodies.
We're your hosts. I'm Bonnie, herbal remedy lover, and your go-to for all things digestion, bloat, and real talk healing without the boring science lectures.
And I'm Carrie, best-selling author, recovering sugar addict, and certified health coach, here to help you ditch the guilt and actually enjoy food. We created this podcast because, let's be real, we've both hit rock bottom with our health. I was exhausted, hooked on sugar, and in and out of doctors' offices trying to feel like me again.
And I was bloated, burnt out, and buried in wellness info that didn't actually help. So we teamed up to give you the unfiltered truth on what actually works. Each week, we're sharing what's actually working, the simple, doable hacks that support your health without stealing your joy. And we are so glad that you're here. So let's dive in. Today's episode is all about identity, self-talk, and rewriting the script. Because the way you describe yourself, it really isn't just language. It's not just words. It's transformation in motion. Our meaning.
Absolutely. And I think negative self-talk really gets people down and they don't even realize they're doing it a lot. And that's really what we wanted to talk about today. So we're kind of taking this from a little bit from Brendon Burchard's Change, where he talks about choosing 3 words that define who you want to be, right? Not the negative self-talk that's flying around. 3 words that define who you want to be.
Our brains are constantly listening, you guys. They listen to our thoughts. They listen to the words that we speak. They listen to the words that we read and write. Mm-hmm. And repetition actually builds our identity. And we're talking repetition on the positive as well as the negative. So what you feed your brain in terms of content, words, thoughts, they become actions because that's what your brain believes, right? And your identity, what you believe is who you are, the person that you are, that shapes your behavior. And your behavior builds your reality. And, that whole I am statement that you use with a lot of meditation and affirmations, the reason the I am statement is so powerful is because you're telling your brain, this is who I am. Mm-hmm. It really does hit those neural pathways a little bit differently than just thinking positive. You can think positive all you want, but if you're feeding yourself negative words and your I am statements are, things that are really negative, you're fueling your body with something that is not going to help make it feel safe, secure, comfortable. At the end and at our core root, your body is just trying to survive, and survival and thriving mean being safe and comfortable. Your brain's always just trying to find safety.
Yeah. I love that you brought up the I am statements because it's a lot of the times it is more negative, right? It can be until we start rewiring those pathways and rewiring how we talk to ourselves. But like, if I keep saying, I am so tired, right? I'm addicted to sugar. Like, listen to that. Like, your brain is literally confirming that, right? That feels safe if you say it all the time. I'm tired. It's also such a great excuse for not doing other things. So that's a whole nother conversation. A whole other conversation. But if I can't say rewire. Rewire. So I'm so tired. I am energized. I have a lot of energy. We keep saying that. We're creating new pathways in the brain. I always talk about, like, when we create habits, it's like driving a truck through the mud and you create these tire tracks and you keep going over and over. And then you have to, it's hard. Your tires are going to get stuck in there. Like, you have to go over. You got to do a little bit more. But how easy is it to reframe? Yeah. I am energized. I am capable. I have control over my sugar cravings, right? That helps retrain the brain. And then that feels safe because the brain is hearing those over and over again.
Yeah, your brain really does. The language that you use, the words that you use really do help regulate your nervous system. They help calm your stress responses. And when you're telling yourself, I am capable, I am energized, I am strong, I am balanced, whether you believe that in that moment or not, telling yourself that your stress responses, it's going to settle a little bit. It's not going to have such a dramatic reaction to simple stress. We have stress all over the world.
Yeah.
All over. Everything that we do nowadays, there is a stress trigger. We cannot escape it unless you're like out in the middle of like no man's land, which I don't even know if that exists anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, tell me where that is, and we'll do a retreat there.
Yeah, exactly. We will go there. But the reason I'm telling you guys this is because a lot of people don't realize that your self-talk does affect other areas of your body health and your well-being.
Yeah.
Your digestion, your hormones, the flow that your hormones take to produce them, and that cycle that we women have during just our monthly rotation. Your body believes whatever story you're telling it.
Yeah.
And if it's, I am tired, I am wiped out, I am addicted to sugar, I am addicted to carbs, I can't, I don't.
Yeah.
Those are all things that your brain's going to take and run in a direction we don't really want it to go. We don't want to go down the negative little rabbit hole. We want to go over to the positive one.
Yeah. And at the beginning, you might be like, as you're saying it to yourself, this is not true, right? Like, but you just keep saying it. You keep rewiring those patterns. And that's, where you want to go.
Yeah.
So how are we going to do this? How are we working on this? So we want you to choose 3 words. Just 3. And we did a little something this week. We had to pick just 1 word, and that was really hard. Okay. So picking 3 words that reflect who you are becoming, not something you don't want to be. So I don't want it to be like, I am not in debt anymore. Okay. Right. It's not a word like that. You would choose a word like abundance, right? So like even debt free, we want like abundance. We want like more positive versus like that, because that negative piece that you're trying to escape.
Yeah.
And write them down. Okay. Share them in the community. If you're not part of our community, please come join the conversation with us. But we share them in the community. And I like to put them on a little Post-it. And then I kind of put them everywhere, but having them in your mirror is really great. I put them like right on my computer, having like where you wake up in the morning. How about like changing your background on your phone that has those 3 words?
Yeah.
Yeah. That could be really great. And then in the morning, say them out loud, right? Say them out loud. How about if you just like 3 times a day in the morning? Maybe at like lunch break or anytime you need like a midday break. I like to do them a lot at night too, before I go to sleep, right? Get those in the subconscious before I doze off.
Yeah. There's science that proves that whatever we tell ourselves at night, whatever we listen to in those 20 minutes as we're falling asleep, is more impactful than anything we do throughout the day. So,
I believe that.
Watch what you're listening to at night. If you're doom scrolling at night, as many of us are very guilty of, that could be really triggering more negative thoughts.
Yeah,
what you're striving for. So the positive ones that you say during the day, say them at night.
Yeah, and yeah, and here's the other key piece: is try to just feel them. Right. Even that's why we're like, sometimes the mind can be like, or you're like, that's not true yet, because we're putting out who we are becoming. Feel that, right? I am someone who has abundance in all areas. Like, what does that feel like in your body? Right.
Yeah.
That's what we want to tune into.
Exactly. We did an activity with our 90-dayers a couple of months ago, and one of them came out with, I am capable of hard things. Mm-hmm. And she has done an amazing job at really flipping her life around. And one of the things that she said this week, because she has graduated from the 90-day program and is learning how to navigate life without having, something every single week to follow. It's now she gets to decide And one of the things that she said over the last week was she didn't realize how easy it would be to just do things like go out with friends and family. And when she reads the menu, she's looking for foods that help her feel happy. You know, and the words that she tells herself in those moments used to be very negative. Like, I can't eat anything on this menu. I don't know what I'm going to pick. You know, these things are going to make me sick. These things aren't good for me. And now when she looks at these things and she's out, she just looks for, hey, I want meat. I want the vegetables. So what do I have available to me? And there's no negative thought. So her experiences being with her family and with her friends, whether it's a celebration or just like, hey, we're meeting for happy hour, she says they're much more enjoyable for her. So there's definite impact on your day-to-day life, the things that you enjoy doing when you tell yourself more positive, uplifting words. So get those 3 words, make sure you see them all the time. Remind yourself. That's what we're telling you to do here is remind yourself over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. I love that you brought that up because it starts. So we pulled out that negative, right? We had to rewire like healthy eating is hard. Going out with friends is going to be almost impossible now, right? Like I can't. And then we just changed it to I can do really hard things. And now the things actually aren't hard. It's really amazing. Yeah. So any tips and tricks like to tweak and make sure that you can stay on track with this or like really, really put it in motion this week because it's our challenge this week. So stack it with, like we said, if you're doing it morning, midday, nighttime, like add it to your nighttime routine. What do you do before you go to sleep at night? Add those I am statements in with those 3 words. You can also add some movement in. Are you doing some yoga before bed or when you're on a walk or stretching? Or I like to do some breathing before I go to sleep. Like I could be saying that while I'm doing my breathing exercises.
Absolutely. And, you know, if you're struggling to try and figure out what words to use or what words to choose, let them evolve.
Yeah.
You know, pick a couple. And if you're working through a couple of days and you're like, oh, this one doesn't really align. I feel more like this one over here. Switch it.
Yeah.
You're not locked in. This is not like pick 3 words and that's it. There's no changing them at all. I mean, this is normal day-to-day life, you guys. You're going to change those suckers all the time.
Yeah. And
there's nothing wrong with them as long as you keep it more on a positive and more on an uplifting. That's really the only guideline. And I don't want to say rule. I want to say guideline. It just sounds so negative and so concrete. But the only guideline is really to choose the more positive.
Yeah.
And does it feel awkward? Heck yeah. It feels so weird to like say these things to yourself in the morning and say them in the afternoon and then include them in the nighttime routine. Like it feels really weird when you're starting something new, no matter what you do, right? Just keep doing it. Practice makes perfect, right?
Yeah. And just keep repeating it. Just keep changing it up. Just realize that you're changing a habit loop. Cause it is awkward, right? Especially like we're talking about our one client. Like when you're thinking things are hard and you're saying I can do really hard things, all of it is just like one thing, but start with 3 little words. Coming up with those words can even be a little bit difficult, but pick those. And like Bonnie said, tweak them because you might want to do this for months and that's going to evolve into something very different than what it is right now. So what are your 3 words? Please share with us if you're comfortable with that. What are your 3 words? And how does your body respond when you say them, especially when you're saying them out loud? Right? Like that's the part you're like saying it out loud, but how do you feel? Like what's the feeling? Like where are you feeling it in your body? Right? Is it excitement? Like, is it in your chest? Are you feeling like I get like, butterflies in my stomach when I get excited about some of these things? So please share that too. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if you're on IG, tag us. We like celebrating things like this. So screenshot the episode, put your words in and tag us. And bonus points for mirror selfies. I write things on my mirrors all the time. The boys even have their own I am statements on their mirror. We change it every week. And then challenge a friend or someone close to you that it's kind of like your buddy, your accountability buddy. Someone that's going to not only challenge you, but is going to be a motivator too.
Yeah.
Let's multiply this. The world needs a lot more positivity. So
oh my gosh, yeah.
Let's spread the word.
Yeah.
Or 3 words. This week is
oh, that's awesome.
All right, folks. That is all that we have for you today. We will catch up with you next week and see you inside of our community.
Yay!
Bye, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. If today's episode made you laugh, think, or say, oh my God, that's me, hit the subscribe button so you never miss a health hack or a wine rack moment.
And don't forget to check the show notes for the link to our community where we go deeper, share recipes, and cheer each other on. Catch you next time on Health Hacks and Wine Racks.